In this video, you will learn how to manipulate more of the required elements on your homepage. For this tutorial, we are focused on the 3 callout boxes located on the homepage underneath the header area. To get started, locate Pages on the left menu and select All Pages. Then locate your homepage and click. Next, select the Edit with Elementor button. This will open up the Elementor user interface that you use to build out and manipulate all of the pages throughout your digital portfolio website. Again, for this tutorial, we are focused on these 3 callout boxes located here on your homepage. Each callout box has 4 primary components. There's the icon, the title text, the body text, and then the call to action button. The information that you want to include in these 3 callout boxes would include your key skills and abilities that you've developed throughout your time at Full Sail. It could also be 3 projects that you would like to promote. Perhaps there are even 3 job roles and responsibilities that you would be seeking after graduation. So for instance, if you were in digital marketing, perhaps you would include search engine optimization, email marketing, and social media marketing. If you were in music business, perhaps you would include artist management, tour management, and music supervision. Whatever you would like to include in these 3 callout boxes, make sure that you know what they are before you begin. Let's say instead of artist management, I would like this to read public relations. Simply click anywhere within the title text area, and you'll notice that the left pane menu changes. Under title, you'll want to simply delete artist management and include public relations. Next, you'll want to make sure that the title text matches your color palette as well as the typography that you chose in a previous tutorial. So to change the title text, locate Style up in the center right of the left pane. You'll notice that you have a few options to change. First, there's the text color. By default, when you click on the color palette block, it is the army green that I've set for the templates. You are going to want to change that to your primary color that you chose in your color palette. So for instance, here is my color palette. This army green is my primary color that I use for all of my headers. This bright orange is my call to action orange for all the links and buttons throughout my website. Then I have 2 accent colors that accent both the primary and the call to action color. So they're a little bit softer gray and softer orange and a very light soft orange. And then lastly, I have my background color, which is this very soft gray. In order to change the color, simply copy the hex code, Command C, and then navigate back to your website and Command V to paste that in. Now you'll see that the title text has indeed changed from the army green to the call to action orange. For consistency purposes, I'm going to change that back to the army green. And now you can see that it's changed back. To change the typography, simply click next to typography, the little edit icon. Now under family, you'll want to locate and select the font family that you have previously selected for all of your headers throughout your digital portfolio website. In my case, that's this Josephine Sans font. However, to give you an idea of how to select a new font, simply navigate to anyone and select. Now you can see that it is changed to this Cadwa font instead. Again, for consistencies, I'm going to jump back to my Josephine Sans. Next, you'll want to change the body text. So once more, just select anywhere within the body text, and you'll notice that the left edit menu changes. Here, you'll want to keep this text to no more than 3 to 4 lines at best. You'll want to be very short and concise with your language here. It should emphasize what you want the visitor to experience. So in this case, I am indicating that I would like the visitor to know that I'm gifted or talented as a public relations professional. I actually already have text written out, so I'm going to copy that text and place it into this text editor here. You'll notice that it changed from 3 lines to 4 lines when I put my text in. That's okay as long as it doesn't go more than 4 lines. Furthermore, you'll notice that the call to action button in this box now has dropped down further than the other two. For consistency purposes, you'll want to make sure that if you have 4 lines of text here, you have 4 lines of text here and 4 lines of text here. Next, you'll want to change the call to action button. Click anywhere within the call to action button and the left menu changes. Instead of click here, we want this to read perhaps learn more or read more. Whenever a visitor clicks on this button, they are going to go to a different page on your website, or they might even go to a different page on the internet entirely. And so for this exercise, I'm going to show you how to change this link to be one within your own digital portfolio website. So let's open up a new tab in our web browser and navigate to the front end of our website by going to fsbizsite.com/your full sale email identity. When the front end of your website has been opened, locate the page that you want the visitor to go to. So in this exercise, I'm simply going to select this entertainment business option here. Once you have located the page you want the visitor to go to, copy the entire link up top, Command C to copy it, and then navigate back to your Elementor user interface, and under link in the left menu, delete the hashtag and Command V to paste that link in the link box. Since they are navigating within your digital portfolio site, you don't need to select this little gauge that drops down 2 options, open in a new window and add no follow. Because they're going to a page within your site, we don't want to select add or open in a new window. We just simply want them to navigate in their current window in their current tab. However, if you wanted the visitor to go to an entirely different website, you would probably want them to at least keep your digital portfolio site open. That is when you would want to select the open in new window. And I'll show you an example of that here under sportscasting when we get there. Okay, now that we have changed the text on our call to action button and we've changed the link destination, we also want to change the color for both the normal color and the hover color. To do so, simply select Style, and now you're given the options to change typography and color. The first option, typography, you'll want to change that to be either the secondary font family that you use for body text throughout your website, or the primary font family that you're using for all of the headers throughout your website. To change the font family, simply select the down arrow and then navigate to the font family that you would like to use. In my case, that's Roboto. Now you can see that it's changed to Roboto. You'll also want to change the color. The call to action orange is not going to be suitable for your color palette more than likely. So what is your call to action color? Locate that on your color palette and select the hex code by highlighting it and Command C to copy that hex code. Navigate back to your website and click on the color palette block for the background color, and then Command V to paste that. Now you can see it change to this army green. Obviously, I'm going to change that back to the orange here in just a moment, but I wanted you to see how you would change the background color to your button. Also, there's the text color. By default, it's this very soft gray. You're going to want to change that to something that contrasts the background color greatly. So in many cases, that might be a pure white, which would be 6 Fs for the hex code. But if you selected a background color like I have in my color palette, this soft gray, you can copy that and paste it into this hex code box in the color palette for text color. Okay? As long as it contrasts the background greatly, you're fine. Next, you'll want to change the hover option. So here you have normal, and then the next tab is hover. If you click on hover, text color and background color change once more, and you'll notice that whenever I hover over the button, it's changing to that accent orange that I decided to use as the background color, and the call to action orange that I changed the text color to. That way it indicates to the visitor that they are about to make an action. Okay, so if you navigate to your color palette, locate an accent color. In this case, again, is that soft orange. I'm Command C to copy that, and then come over here to background color and Command V to paste that code. And that'll change your hover background color. Then you'll also want to change the text color. So select the color block and then change that hex code in the same manner that you changed the text color previously. Okay. So again, for consistency purposes, I'm going to change that color back to my call to action orange. There we go. Okay. As promised, in this second box, I'm going to keep sportscasting here. But I want to change this call to action button to be an outside website. So let's say that all of this was about podcasting. So I'm going to first change the text to be about podcasting and announcing to reflect the title. Okay. Now you'll notice that it takes up 3 lines of text here. We want to change that. We want to make sure that it takes up more than 3 lines, that it matches these 4 lines, right? So instead, we'll just add a few more words like check out my podcast below. Now it's 4 lines, just like the previous block here. This keeps the call to action buttons level with one another. Okay, let's navigate to open up a new tab and go to SoundCloud. And here, if you had a podcast or you had music on for an album that you created, you can locate your podcast or your tracks, your music tracks on SoundCloud, and then use this URL here for the call to action button location. So I'm going to Command C to copy that URL for the President's Podcast. And then I'm going to come back here to this call to action button, click anywhere within there, and you'll notice that the left pane changes. And then I'm going to delete the hashtag under link and Command V to paste that link. This is where you would want to click on this little gauge and select open in a new window. Check that box, because now when somebody clicks on that call to action button, it's going to pop open a new tab and leave your digital portfolio website open in another tab. Okay. And then lastly, you'll want to make sure that you are changing these icons to reflect the information that you have below them. So in this case, the music notes don't really match up well with public relations. So click anywhere within the icon box, and you'll notice that the left pane menu options change once more. And then under icon, click the drop-down box and locate an icon within these options that reflects your title and information in this call-out box. So in my case, that might be people. So in order to look for people, either I can scroll through all of these different icons, which can be rather time-consuming, or up here in this search field, I can simply type people and see if anything comes up. Nothing comes up. Okay, well, maybe I can try group, like a group of people. And wouldn't you know it, there is an icon for group. So I'm going to select group, and you can see the icon change to a bunch of people, which would reflect public relations a lot better than the music notes that were previously there. In order to change the color of the icon, you would do it the same way that you change the color for the text header and the call to action box. So once more, under style on the left pane, you have the icon, and then under icon, you have both normal and hover. You have the primary color, size, and so forth. So under primary color, you want to change that to your call to action color. Again, in my case, it's this nice orange, but just to give you an idea, if I wanted it to be this army green, I would copy the hex code, come back, and paste the hex code in, and you can see that the icon color has indeed changed. Of course, I'm going to want to change that back to the orange to match my call to action button. Okay, and that's how you change the call out boxes on your homepage. But we're not done just yet. We need to make sure that whenever we make changes, we click the update button in the bottom left. It's this green update button located down here. When you click on that, it is going to update the page and save all the changes that you just got done making. Once it's been saved, you can click the hamburger option in the top left and then exit to dashboard to get out of the Elementor user interface. And now this screen should look familiar to you. And there you have it. Now you know how to change the callout boxes on your homepage.